the next speaking slot chaired by Deputies Thomas Pringle, Mick Wallace and Joan Collins. Deputy Pringle.
Thanks, Alison.
3 minutes.
Myself and Deputy Collins will be taking 3 minutes and Deputy Wallace will be taking 4 minutes.
Margaret.
Last Concorda, just first of all I would like to just extend my own personal sympathies to the people of Paris and the people of France in response to the atrocities that were carried out in Paris last Friday evening, and there's no doubt that what happened there was a complete act of terrorism and an act attempting to terrorise a whole community and a whole country, and forward what none of us really understand is in terms of the aims of the people who carried out these attacks. But I think it's important as well, and seeing that these attacks, we put it in some context as well. There has been a number of terrorist attacks have taken place over the last number of weeks. Last week there was a bombing attack in Beirut, where I think over 40 people were killed. And is that attack any less horrific and any less terrorising than what happened in Paris? I don't believe it is. And the bombing of the Russian flight over Egypt a couple of weeks ago as well, that in itself is a complete and utter act of terror as well, and just equally as bad and equally as desperate an act. And it's something that we should always remember, is that, you know, are those attacks any less terrorising or any less desperate because they took place close to the war zone? The people that died in those attacks are just as innocent as the unfortunate people in France, and their families will suffer for very many years to come as well. But over the weekend, I think now is a time that we do have to look at why these attacks take place and why something like this happens. And over the weekend we saw how Deputy Wallace was attacked because of his response in relation to a tweet he sent out at the time, sympathising with the victims of the attack, but also saying that we have to look and see what we do in the West that makes things like this happen. And I think we can't remove ourselves from that, because it's very dangerous if we look and we only see what security response what's going to take place, and is the response to go out and bomb Syria into the ground again as well? Is that the right response? We need to look at the policies that we and the countries of the European Union and countries of the West have carried out, that have laid waste to Afghanistan, laid waste to Iraq, and maybe planted the seeds that allowed the Islamic State to come into the situation that they are in Syria. And we have to question that, and we have to look and see what we do to change that prevents those attacks happening in the future. And that is more long term. It's probably more difficult to do. It's very easy to have a knee-jerk reaction and say that what we have to do, we're at war, we go out and we bomb and we kill more people and more innocent people because of a response and an act of revenge. And we have to look at how we can change the way we behave in the world to ensure that these attacks don't happen again.